Hi, I'm Flavin. I live in Stuttgart, Germany, and today I'd like to give you a brief introduction about balcony solar plant. It's beginning to get popular over here, and I was approached by a few friends who wanted me to share some information about this. So the first time I started researching about the balcony solar plant was about a year ago, or maybe a year and a half ago. And there were a lot of questions about whether it is legal, what are the limits, will the government help you with it, is there any grant available? But now, almost a year after that, I have a lot of answers for it, and I have also installed it at home, done the registration, got the grant from the government as well. I mean, yes, it's true, you do get things back from the government. And yeah, that is my small success story. So to give you a basic information about the setup, first things first, it's extremely simple. Anybody can set it up. I mean, if you know how to use a screwdriver, and if you know how to plug a keyboard and mouse to a PC, I would say you should be able to set up a balcony solar plant. So the setup consists of the solar panels, which are connected to an inverter, and the inverter is connected to your main socket. It is as simple as that. There are also systems where you could install a battery. So the panels are connected to the battery, and then the battery is connected to the inverter. But I just installed it in February, so I think I will test it for a year and see what the production values are, and maybe then go for the battery. So maybe same time next year I would have more data about the production, and I would probably then take a decision about installing a battery or not. There are a few websites which can give you some basic data about the production which is possible for your location. I would share them in the description as links below. But every person's place is different, so every balcony or a garage or whichever place you plan to install your solar panel is different. There are considerations about angle, considerations about shade, maybe from trees, maybe from the building opposite, or on the side. So these are definitely certain points that you will have to consider before you plan to install this. As I said, the setup is pretty simple. Let me just show you the way I've set it up on my garage right now. So this is my simple setup. I've not installed it on a balcony, but this is just on top of my garage. It's set up with two solar panels, each having 500 watt peak output, and they are connected to an inverter which has an 800 watt output. So as I mentioned, the 800 watt is the current legal limit in Germany. Let me give you a closer look of the setup. So these are the two panels that you see here. And the two panels are connected to the inverter, which is fixed over here. So you see here, these are the cables which come in from the panels, and this is the cable which is connected to your main socket. So the cable from the AC output of the inverter is just plugged into your main socket, and it is as simple as that. That's it. So that was the setup. I mean, it's super simple. I'm sure anybody can do it. You don't really need much of help. Of course, the solar panels are a bit heavy. I mean, the ones that I have weigh about 22 or 23 kilograms, so it's about the weight of a check-in luggage. And the rest of it is just plug and play, so it's that simple. So how is this going to help you? One thing you need to remember is this is not going to make you independent of the power company or something, based on different websites which can definitely tell you the calculation. You would get somewhere about 15%, I think, plus minus. That's how much you would be able to save from your energy bill in a year. Maybe some places you would get more, some places less, but yeah, around about 15% is what you would save. And yes, so how does this whole thing actually help you save energy? So let's talk numbers. The legal output allowed from the inverter is 800 watts. If you take an average household, you would have something called a base load. So that's the refrigerator, your router, your other devices which are working 24/7. So they would mostly be on most of the time, and this would lead to some power consumption almost throughout the day. Of course, you will have some peaks, for example, when you turn your toaster on or something else. But on an average, I would say you would have about 150 to 200 watts, which is constant throughout the day or night, maybe. And this would be your base load. So if your inverter is giving you an output of 800 watts, and let's say your base load is about 300 watts, so the extra 500 can be used for other devices. So let's say your toaster is turned on at this point where the sun is shining at its peak and you have peak output, so 800 watts. And if your toaster consumes 1000 watts, then the 500 watts, which is above your base load, would be used by the toaster. So which means the consumption of your toaster is reduced by 50%. So that's how it works. This is the way it works for me because I don't have a battery setup. Of course, if you have a battery setup, it may help you use this 500 watts when you're not using a toaster, for example. So this 500 watts goes in your battery and this can be used later. But there are many factors to it: the cost, replacement of the battery, the life of the battery. But I think that's probably something I could do next year in another video maybe. But for now, this is the absolutely simple setup. There are two more things which I also want to inform. The first point is extremely important. It is a must in Germany. So when you set up your balcony solar plant and you plug it into your main socket, you have to document the date that you did this. So you do your setup on maybe a garage, maybe a balcony, or somewhere else in your garden, doesn't matter. But the day you plug it into your main supply, you have to note the date, and you have to register this plant on a website called Marktstammdatenregister. It's like, I don't know, a market register. I don't know the real translation for it in German. It's a government website where you need to register your solar plant. So you would have to create an account there. You would have to provide details about the panel output, so the watt peak, the inverter output in watts, so it would be 800 as of now, the legal limit, your energy meter number, and the rest would be address, date of birth, and personal details. So this is a must, and you have a month's time to do this registration online. It's a pretty straightforward process. It would hardly take you 10 minutes. And once you do this, you get a certificate. It's a PDF that you need to save for yourself, and this would be useful in case somebody from the government asks you to provide some information, then this certificate would inform them that yes, I have set up this plant, it was plugged in on this date, it has this much of power output, and it's been running for, I don't know, X number of months or years. The second point which I want to inform is only valid for Stuttgart. So the first point, it's for throughout Germany. The second point is only valid for Stuttgart. Maybe it's also possible that you may find this option in other cities or other states, I'm not sure. So what I'm talking about is a government grant for the entire solar project. So you need to go to another website. I will link the websites in the description below. You just need to go to the Stuttgart government website and register yourself for the grant. As of now, I'm talking about March 2025, the government provides every person who has set up a solar plant a grant of 200 euros. You may get it, it's not a must, but I registered for it about a week ago, and day before yesterday I got a reply from the government saying that yes, they have passed the grant. So I would be getting that in my bank account maybe, I don't know, next week or next month, but I would be getting it sometime. Not a must, but it's nice to have. So basically that kind of brings down my solar plant cost. So yeah, these two things. So a must is Marktstammdatenregister, and optional is apply for the grant. And yes, that's about it, as simple as that. So if you just want me to summarize the whole aspect of it, super simple. You have a plant system without the battery, which is what I'm currently, which I've currently set up. You have different providers. Go for something which at least has a TÜV stamp on it. Usually it's good to have that. But most of the ones in the market are pretty good for at least to be used inside Germany. So you get your solar panels, and sometimes you also get it as a bundle. So you get the solar panel and the inverter and the cables. Connect your solar panel to the inverter to your main socket, and that's about your setup. After you're done with this, you register your solar plant in the Marktstammdatenregister, and if the government in your city or town or state allows, you apply for a grant for the solar plant, and that's about it. And then you enjoy free electricity from the sun.